everybody's clapping at me.
You didn't know why?
I don't know, like so like I just got here a couple of days ago. I can't be famous this soon, man. Come on, tell me about it. So what's going on? So this one is like, yeah, you know what, we are with you, you know, keep going, everything is gonna be all right, you know, they gotta change these policies, they gotta change these things. You are showing
appreciation
for her being
and the parents bringing her up.
Exactly. There's something for the mother, something for the father, and everything put together. And then the whole, not just that what you brought and you gave and left, but the whole process, how you arrived to the house, how you are greeted at the door.
Yeah.
I know every place is different, but the way we organize it in the Congolese way, it's fun and it's nice if you understand it. We keep you outside for a little bit before you come in, and then when you come in, they sit you down, and it's like, and then the
elderly man
of the family say, "Who are you guys?" If you go to Montreal. It's even more developed. The subway system, it's very fast. You gotta get into the subway, and then they dug it so deep down below. It's fast. There's a lot of lines, red, I think yellow, green.
Wow.
It's very sophisticated in Montreal. Yeah. We have all these sports events. You know, I don't know you guys from Kenya. We have teams, soccer teams that are the rivals in each city.
Yeah.
In my city, you know, if those two rivals are meeting on Sunday, you know, the city starts shutting down by Friday. You know, people are talking about it. Friday, they're talking about it. And you got parties starting Friday night. Saturday, people are getting drunk on each side. This is what I fight. They're trying to make sure they don't meet because they'll fight.
All right, welcome back again today, guys. I have a different guest from Congo, and I would love to hear his story. And for some of you subscribers and everybody wants to join and watch this, let's hear something he has to say, what his journey has been, and let's see what are some of his thoughts he can share with us. And without much ado, I'm your host, like usual, Bryke.
Jean-Luc
in the house. All right.
Yes, sir.
All right, John. What inspired you to move from Congo to Canada in the first place before you came to the United States?
I was inspired to just go to a new place, you know, first world countries, you know, as a young, not just African, any young person across the globe, as you grow up, you know, you are curious. You want to explore the world, you want to travel the world. Yeah. And if you can find a place where there's more opportunities, where you can get some good education and then you can take care of yourself, hey, you don't even think twice. So I have a brother that was already gone to Belgium. He was working there, and he said, hey, listen, I saw an opportunity in Canada, and if you want, I can help you go there. Like, absolutely, don't even ask me twice. I'm going.
Okay.
So we worked it out. It worked out fine, and before you know it, I was in Toronto.
Oh wow.
1997 October the 5th.
Wow. And did you go for high school, college, or university?
I was already a graduate back home when I arrived. I was already in the second year university of economy in my country. And when I arrived, I'm coming from a country where we speak French only, and I did not have a single word of English. So we had to go through the process of learning English. So they had this program called the Adult Day School. So you go to that Adult Day School, you're learning English. At the same time, you're doing your, what do you call it, GED.
Oh, GED.
Yeah, so they kind of give you their own kind of diploma.
Yeah.
So you could fight your own diploma from home. There's a process to it. You have to have it translated. You have to have a notary. I'm like, why go through all that pain when I can let me just go through the process. I'll get a few classes. What do I need to get a GED? They told me. I'm learning all these things in English. It's a plus. And after that, by the time I finish, I have a GED as if I graduated high school, which I'd already done. And then GED plus English, so I'm ready for college.
Oh, wow.
So I went for it, and it was free.
Okay. That's nice.
So they offer that. So I went for that first, and then after that, and I picked the course in college.
Oh wow! So you said English was an issue. Was it reading or just speaking?
Both, because we had one class. It's just like you pick somebody. Maybe if you come from an English-speaking country, whether you or somebody from America here or Canada, if they only went through an English school, you probably pick the language at some point in high school, right?
Yeah.
Some pick Spanish, some pick this. We had English as a class.
Yeah.
Is to pass.
Yeah.
And mind you, different professors, and then we just learned a few words here and there, and that was it.
Oh wow!
So just exactly the way you would say, "How is your French?" or "How is your Spanish?"
I'm not really good in French, and actually, the funny thing is, most people ask me that if I know French.
You really?
I don't know a lot of French.
They think you know French.
I think the only thing that I know is bonjour.
Bonjour, comment ça va? Yeah. So most people they took some French here and there, but if you ask them, "How is your French?" If you go to France today to work or looking for an opportunity, can you work right away in French? Probably not.
Yeah.
So you probably need to go through a process to learn the language.
Yeah.
And then you can get into the workforce.
Wow.
Yes.
I mean, I think those things, the languages come in handy most times when you travel or if you go to a bilingual country or state.
Yeah.
I think back home, we used to take we had how you call it, it's like special classes, but it's not really special. You had to choose. So most people, not a lot of people, but most people chose French, Germany, and all that. But for me, I was like, I don't think it's gonna help me in any kind of way, because I never thought I was gonna leave Kenya, or for some reason I was like, we speak English and Swahili, so what's the point of me speaking French in Germany if I'm not gonna use it?
Absolutely.
But things work in mysterious ways, and some people travel, and here I am. I think English came in handy, not French.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Not French.
Yeah.
Yet.
Yeah. True.
You might need it later. You never know.
Oh, wow. So I know you mentioned your challenge for transitioning over was English. Was there any other kind of challenge?
That was the first challenge, is that. But the very first challenge is the winter.
Yeah.
The cold. Because you were born somewhere where it's warm. 365 days of the year it's warm. The only thing we have difference maybe the rainy season and the dry season, but the cold, when it comes, it's crazy. So you're inside the house and you wake up in the morning, you look outside, it's sunny. Look, wow, it's a beautiful day.
Yeah.
Because you have a heater inside.
Oh,
you think it's the same warmth you have inside is outside.
Yeah.
So I put a little shirt and I go outside. I don't know where I was going. So from outside my door was the bus stop. So I stop at the bus stop. I feel the winds. It's kind of chilly.
Yeah.
So this old lady with the big jacket look at me. She's like, "Where's your jacket?" So I'm like, I don't have a jacket.
Yeah.
So you have to wear a jacket. It's going to get cold. You're going to get sick. I said, "Oh, okay." So I went back, get a sweater. That was still not enough. But it got cold, man. So we had to look for jackets very quickly.
Wow.
Man, it was some kind of thing. And then there was this place we went. It's like they give you a person, the Canadian government, when you arrive. They're very nice in terms of transitioning you when you arrive.
Yeah.
There's somebody who's in charge of trying to know how you guys are faring, how you're doing.
Oh, wow.
So we said, we're cold, we got no jackets and everything. So they said, there's a church not far from you. They always offer people jackets for people, newcomers and stuff like that. So why don't you go there and check? They gave us the address. It was me with my niece. So we went there and they gave us a couple jackets. We picked. And then they had other stuff, like food stuff. We took some stuff, went home. I had this blue jacket.
Yeah.
And it had a stripe that was very shiny on it.
Yeah.
In the middle.
Yeah.
I didn't know what it was. So just put it on.
Yeah.
Right? And it was warm.
Yeah.
It was nice.
Yeah.
Wore the jacket, went downtown. It's a true story. I walk into this place, they used to call it Coffee Time. It used to be a chain of restaurant. They call it Coffee Time. It's like Tim Hortons. It's I guess for coffee place.
Yeah.
So I walk into this place, everybody's clapping at me.
You didn't know why?
I don't know. So I just got here a couple of days ago. I can't be famous this soon, man. Come on. Tell me about it. So what's going on? So this one is like, yeah, you know what, we are with you, keep going, everything is gonna be all right, they gotta change these policies, they gotta change these things. So I was like, yeah.
So you just walked into politics without knowing?
I didn't know, but I still don't know what they're talking about. So I nod my head. I'm cold. I need some hot coffee, some hot chocolate, and some Timbits. Timbits are like little beignet, a little round thing.
Yeah.
I got those, and then I'm like, okay, I gotta leave. So I still don't understand what these guys are talking about. They're trying to encourage me of something they think I did. I still don't understand. You see the cultural shock. So you don't understand. So now I decide to leave now. They clap again. What is going on? So I walked out and I started walking. And it was, if I walk, I feel better because I get warmer. I wasn't too far, like a 45-minute walk to home.
Oh, wow.
I could have taken the bus or the train. I had my ticket, but I decided to walk so I can see the place. I want to know where I'm located, how things are. So as I'm walking, then I come to this place. I found a lot of people with the jacket like mine. And then they have these signs and everything. So this was the jacket for people that work at the post office.
Yeah.
So the color and everything, you can tell this is a jacket for the postman and post women when they deliver mail, right?
Yeah,
so that was a jacket. So and then they were asking for some raise and stuff like that. So then that's when I got it. Okay. So they thought I was one of the post people.
Yeah.
And since they're fighting for something and they were trying to encourage me, so yeah. I'm like, yeah, you see the culture thing, you don't understand.
You're lost in...
The news was there, but it was in English. They're talking so fast.
Yeah.
I'm not grasping it. So, yeah.
Wow. That's wow. Yeah, that would have been confusing for sure for the first time, for sure.
Yeah.
Wow. What traditional practices do you guys have back in Congo that are not known well in Africa and some other countries?
The traditional practices that are in my country, they will be almost the same or a little bit of ramifications in different countries, but will be almost the same, especially with the Bantus. Most of the southern Sahara, we have the same kind of stuff. Probably not known to the west or the north. The one I can bring up the most that I always kind of enjoy is what we call the dowry. Or
dowry payment,
or the lobola. But when you Google it, dowry, they kind of say that is the payment the brides bring for her husband. Kind of not really. That see how Google can mess you up.
Yeah.
And then if you put lobola, which is a southern Africa, starting from the Congo south, we go into Zambia, Zimbabwe, all the way to South Africa. They're talking about the token that the groom is bringing for
the bridegroom.
You're not buying her, but you are showing
appreciation
for her being
and the parents bringing her up.
Exactly. There's something for the mother, something for the father, and everything put together. And then the whole, not just that what you brought and he gave and left, but the whole process, how you arrive to the house, how you are greeted at the door. I know every place is different, but the way we organize, like in the Congolese way, it's fun and it's nice if you understand it. We keep you outside for a little bit before you come in, and then when you come in, they sit you down, and it's like then it's the man,
the elderly man
of the family say, "Who are you guys? We don't know you. What are you here for?" And then you start explaining, our son here said he saw a nice flower in your house. And then the older man looked at a flower in the corner and said, "This one? Which flower?"
Being sarcastic, huh?
Yeah. So which flower are you talking about? I said, no. He said, he saw a woman in this house. A woman? Is there a lot of women in this house? Didn't you see them when you came in? They're like, yeah, okay, so which one is it? So, okay, so the process goes, and then they'll bring out the women, they come and stand there. I say, no, it's not this one. What about this? It's not this one. It's not this one. And I find, there's another one left. But this one is not here. You gotta pay some money to bring her. Some taxi, and all this is very symbolic. They don't ask you for too much money. And then they'll bring some money. They put there. Okay, let's go get her. Then they'll bring somebody else. Again, the sister or the cousin. And is this the one? I said, no, it's not the one. So there's yet another one. This one is special. You can't just get her anyhow. You gotta put some more money down.
So if you don't mind me asking, through this process, are they doing this to confuse you or
you already know.
Uh-huh.
If that's why if somebody who is not from the culture is coming, we speak to them ahead of time
Okay.
to kind of get understand.
Uh-huh.
It's all for the fun of it, and it's a process. Enjoy the process.
Yeah.
And then you also kind of talk within yourself. How much are we giving? Then they will say, okay, excuse us, can we step outside? We need to talk among
discuss
ourselves.
this, yeah.
So the man also, they will leave, and sometimes they leave. They stay too long to drag your legs too. Right?
Oh,
They pull your
man.
leg. They was like, why are they taking so long? They need to come back.
Yeah.
Just come and find them. But they come back here. Okay, you know what? We were able to pull some money together, and we want this woman to come now. See, we are here. You know, we are very serious about what we came for, and this is it. So okay, we appreciate this, and then finally she comes down.
Yeah.
Yeah, she's the one. No, she's looking the best she can be.
Yeah.
So, and then she comes down, and then that's it. And then the staff, now the lobola comes in. This is the one, and then we ask her. We, the family, say, "Hey, our girl, do you recognize these people?" And she's like, "Yeah, I know them. They are here for me." I say, "Okay, sit down." But she sits down by her parents. She's not sitting by the husband.
Yeah,
The
yeah.
husband is there. He's not saying a word. He's not supposed to say anything. That day, somebody has to speak for him.
So is that going to be your parents or your elderly people?
Most of
From
the
your
time,
side.
most of the time, on both sides, parents don't want to speak. You parents choose a spokesperson. Most of the time, either the brother to the mother or brother to the father. The other side, the same thing. So that the direct people that are involved in the situation,
Yeah.
they don't speak because emotion can get in the way of situation. So you prefer to have somebody who's not very much attached, but always can be free to talk.
Yeah.
So they always choose the uncle to do most of the job. Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, the uncle does the job. So then after she said yeah, and then they bring the lobola. Most of the time is some money, and then some items. They'll put them on the floor. We brought this for the mother. We brought this. We brought this. Back in the days, if the father's a hunter, they bring a gun. If
There was guns in Congo?
yeah, the gun for hunters way back. Yeah, one of those.
How about recent days? Do you all have them?
I don't know the years, but one of those guns is one shot thing. You put it in and one shot.
Oh, the ones that have a knife or a spear?
Yeah, the one with knife in front.
Oh,
and then
yeah.
you put a bullet, and just one, and then it's to shoot.
Yeah.
So they do that, and then they put some money in a big envelope, nice little package, and they'll put it there. And then if she picks up the money and gives it to her dad, that means she agrees
To go with the...
to go with the process.
Okay.
Then after that, she does that. Then we pour a drink. I say, okay, go give a drink to your future husband. And then she walks in and pass all the man and give it to him. If he takes it and drinks it, everybody applauds. Now she can sit by him. Now she can sit by him, and then now we're family.
Oh, wow.
Now the party can start.
Okay.
Then we start talking, and now we got food that was prepared and everything that was prepared. Everybody can have a drink and eat some meal, and then yeah, a good time.
So in presentation of this food or this drink, how does she present it to you? I'm not asking in a biased way, but I think right now there's a topic going on between, there's a conflict of, should I say conflict of thoughts, but there's a conflict of interests within women from Uganda and Kenya, because Ugandan women, they kneel for their men.
Oh, okay.
They kneel for their men, but when Kenyan women hear about this, they're like, we're not doing none of that.
Yeah, I think it's an upbringing thing. I didn't see women kneel in my country, but they'll give it with both hands. You hold one hand and the second hand underneath. You give it in a certain way. Sometimes you do the gesture of, that kneeling gesture, as if you're going down. It's not kneeling. It's like going down, like stooping down a little bit. Yeah, it's just showing respect. You're stooping down. But the kneeling part, I've seen it in Zambia. Yeah,
I think Zambian women do that too.
Zambia do that.
Yeah.
I don't know how he jumped all the way to Uganda, so I don't understand.
Yeah, that's something that I've seen recently. Women have a conflict of interest or thoughts when it comes to it. I've seen, there's a show in Kenya they do, it's called Perfect Match or something of sort. There's a lady who came to the show, and every time a guy walks in, she kneels.
That's her show.
it's on the show, but that's from how she was brought up. She's from Uganda, but you got Kenyan women in this show too. But they be like surprised every time, like, why are you doing it? You're not supposed to be doing that for men. She's like, that's how I was brought up. I give respect to men and all that, but it's a conflict of interest and thoughts.
Yeah, there's a problem. Somebody was brought up that way.
Yeah.
And the men that were brought up in that same culture will appreciate it. And the men that were not brought up in the same culture will be like, no, don't do that. Stand up. Quick.
Yeah.
But the men that were brought up in the same culture will appreciate that this is
They consider that being more of respect to them.
They're being respected.
Yeah.
And most of the time, when you're going to kneel the men for consideration, they'll tell you to stand up. Okay. Real quick, yeah. So because you have shown the respect that you're willing to do that respect, now I'm also willing to say, you don't have to stay down that low that much. Come on, stand up. Especially when it's a rough area or something like that. Yeah, I think it's culture. Culture is different.
Cultures are different there for sure. I'm trying to understand that part too, because just coming from one perspective or aspect of one country or continent, it don't mean everybody else practice the same cultures. So
absolutely,
that's why I'm trying to do the bridging of cultures. Let's understand everybody else's cultures. It's not about judging what others do.
No, we don't judge, because if I don't do it, if I know I was brought up this way, you tell me not to do it, I feel like I failed somewhere in respecting these people. Yeah, even if they don't see it, but inside of me, I feel that way. So
you feel like you've not fulfilled what you're supposed to be doing.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. But and then depending on the settings, if it's my setting, and I can call the shot. If it's not my setting, I may probably check with the people, say, are you okay with me doing this? But I feel like I should. Yeah. And things like that. So
all right. You had mentioned about paying the dowry, and you mentioned money. Is there any time and point you guys did cattle, like sheep, goat, cows?
The money part is most of the time the representation of the cattle and the sheep. Most of the time, back in the days, it used to be mostly cattle. Depending on the area. On the eastern part of the Congo, they do mostly cattle. You know, talking about Goma and all those areas, it's mostly war right now. They do cattle. The western part, they don't have a lot of big cattle. They have sheep and goats. Yeah. And it comes in terms of that. If the woman is a virgin, there's got to be a goat specifically for the mom.
Oh, wow.
To raise a woman that was able to keep herself.
What kind of goat should it be? Like,
I think it's a male. It's a male goat. It should be a male goat. The one that stinks. For some reason, I think it's the best. I don't know. Don't ask me.
I think I've had something like that too.
For some reason, it has to be the male goat for the mom, and then all this thing for the dad. So you got that, and then plus the other goats you can bring in if you live in a rural area, because your wealth is mostly your livestock. Yeah, that's what it's counted on. Yeah, what you got. But now you find yourself in a setting like here, where you're gonna bring a goat from. So
there's not. Yeah,
you do. So you calculate the value. Yeah, and then you give that.
Oh wow. Yeah. Wow. What is the staple food in Congo? The staple food, like the common meal.
The common meal
eaten in Congo.
You see, Congo is a very big country. You know? We almost have. We almost touch the two oceans. Yeah. So we're in the middle of Africa. We have. We touched the Atlantic Ocean through one of our provinces, but on the Indian Ocean, you have to go through Rwanda and then I think Tanzania, and then you get to the Indian Ocean. It's not that far. Yeah. So it's a big country. It's almost like a continent. Yeah. Here it changes from area to area. True. I would say on the eastern part, again, they're more into rice. Rice plus and potatoes that with everything else, like meat, vegetables, and then on the western part, we have a lot of fufu going on. Okay. So and it depends. The north, west, they use a lot of cassava. The southern, the middle to the south, they use a lot of corn. Corn. Kind of fufu, yeah.
Okay. So you said, was it the eastern? You said they have fufu. What do they use to make this fufu?
In the north, north, they use cassava.
To make fufu?
Yes. What do they call it here? What do they
pounded
call
yam
or something? No, it's not pounded yam. They call it uka. No, uka. They have a name for cassava. It's a root too. It looks like yams. It's big as well. And then they cut it up, they dry it, and then they pound it. Yeah. And they make fufu out of it. The cassava leaves. Wow. And in the south, it's corn. So we'd make our ugali with it.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow. I mean, I think if I'm not wrong, it's a long time ago. I was in high school. I think there's a teacher who told us in Uganda they use a banana to make fufu.
Fufu. Now they make fufu with everything. Now I've seen the fufu banana. Now I've seen plantains.
How does it taste?
I've tried it. I've tried the.
Do they still use it in heat, or is just?
Yeah, you cook the same way you cook fufu.
Wow.
It's just now it's even easier. You can get.
Is
the
it
fufu.
ripe bananas or the raw ones?
They've done the flour out of the ripe bananas. They dried them and they make powder out of it. They've dried also the green ones and made powder out of it. And now it's in the box.
Yeah.
It's only on the box where you see that this
difference.
it's a powder coming out of a green plantain bananas. And the other one is a ripe
Bananas.
plantain banana. So you pick which one
You prefer?
you prefer and then you go try it.
Oh wow.
Now they have oatmeal, oat flour.
Yeah, yeah.
They got flour almost with everything. So
True.
you just pick what you think is it's better for you to
Man.
make your fufu. It's
I would love to try some of this. The one that I think I want to try the most is the banana one.
The
Because
banana?
I'm interested to know how it tastes like.
yeah, you should try. You should try.
I'm interested
You
to
should
know
try.
it tastes like for
You
sure.
should try. In my country, they used to make something they call lituma.
Mhm.
That one is not fufu. It's the banana that is half ripe, half green. They cook it. When it's cooked, they take it out and they peel it. And then they make it into a round little shape. Like, it looks like a fufu,
Yeah.
but it's just a banana.
Ah.
But that's how they make it. This is on the northeastern part of the Congo. They're specialized in making that. They got some very good food that area.
Man,
Yeah,
I'm interested
Close
in
to
trying all
Uganda.
this.
yeah.
Wow, wow. All right, switching over. What similarities and the differences? Oh, before that, you said you went to Canada for schooling. So, is it after graduation you moved to the United States, or was it just for employment purposes?
No, I came for employment purposes. I graduated from the first degree, and I worked a little bit, and then I switched into healthcare. I went to school again, and I graduated. I worked a little bit, and then I chose to move.
So transferring from Canada to the United States, they don't need different kind of certification for nursing students or nursing program.
Back in the days, they used to. From 2015, the Canadian implemented the NCLEX, which is the national exam to get your license as a nurse when
Yeah.
you finish school. So
Yeah.
finishing school is not enough. You gotta get a license now.
Yeah.
So they have to test your knowledge, which is a national board exam to pass to start working. So Canada used to have a different exam. We used to call it CNA, Canadian National Examination. Until 2015, they incorporated the NCLEX.
Okay.
So now when you graduate from Canada, you do the same exam as the graduate from the US are doing. So when you get that, you start working in Canada. You work, and then when you want to come over here, it's just a matter now of paperwork. So this is what you're gonna do. You have to first you choose where you're gonna go.
Yeah.
I'm gonna work in Texas, for example, or I'm working in Missouri. So you come over here, you look for the board, and see what the requirements are for you to be able to work here as somebody from somewhere else. So you request you start applying for the license over here.
Yeah.
Because you have a license, it's a license, but it's in
Qualified in Canada, yeah.
You're not gonna do another exam, but they have to transfer your credentials over here. So Missouri wants to know, okay, if you say you're a nurse, but you went to school outside of our jurisdiction.
Yeah.
So we want to know if what you did is acceptable to our standards
Yeah.
over here.
Yeah.
Did you get enough hours in medical, surgical? Did you get enough hours for psychiatric nursing? Did you get enough hours for pediatrics or orthopedics? So they check all those hours. So you now go through what we call a credential evaluation.
Okay.
It's a different. It's a third party. You pay money there again.
Wow.
These guys are in Philadelphia, so you got to go through that, and then they'll take your degree, they'll take your credential from your school,
Yeah.
and then they'll they'll just check it
Mm-hmm.
to see if compared to the one from Missouri, if it's a match.
Yeah.
If it's a match, great. If you have more than them, fine. If you're missing some hours, they'll say, okay, in this particular area,
Mhm.
you only had 19 hours, but Missouri require 30.
So you have to go back to school for that.
No, not that's up to the board of Missouri to evaluate now to say what are we going to do with this person
Yeah.
based on what we've seen.
Mm-hmm.
And then they'll tell you, we want you to get a few hours in this area and this and that. I don't know. But what I did mine
Mhm.
was with the board of Florida.
Mhm.
They told me to go to the hospital and get a few more hours.
Mhm.
So I went. Because I graduated before 2015.
Yeah.
So I did the Canadian exam.
Mm-hmm.
But when I came here, I had to do the NCLEX again.
Yeah.
So I did it. I had to do it. So
Oh wow. Wow.
it's a process, but it's not complicated.
Yeah, it's not complicated, especially after you've graduated and all that. The other ones is just easy work.
Yeah.
Oh wow. What are some of the similarities that you've seen or encountered moving from Canada to the United States?
Well, this the Western world countries.
Mm-hmm.
It's almost the same, even though the people that live in the U.S. would think Canada is different. Those who have never been,
Mm-hmm.
those who are in Canada would think the U.S. is different.
Yeah.
Especially for those who have never been,
Yeah.
because we see the other side of, or we see the other country
Mm-hmm.
through the lenses of the media,
Mm-hmm.
which most of the time they are trying to show you what they want you to see.
Yeah.
So it's good. I encourage people to travel.
True.
Go see it for yourself.
Yeah.
And then you know
Experience it for
what's
yourself too.
and go experience for yourself. Then you know what is there. But most of the time, I think it's similar.
Mm-hmm.
The differences will be on the individual basis. Like me, the weather is very important. When I wake up in
So
the
it's
morning,
much colder over there than over here.
Yeah, it's Canada. It's the north. You know.
I mean, for someone who's been over here, I cannot say I know how cold it can be over there. So that's why I'm asking. Like,
yeah, the geography tells you the more you go north,
Mhm,
the
the more
colder
cold
it gets. So you go there in the winter,
Mhm.
you see, already you get to New York, you start feeling it. And you pass New York, you
Mhm.
go to Niagara, to let's say to Buffalo, you get to feel it.
Mhm.
Now this is almost lower. If you go to Minnesota, it's already higher than
Yeah.
Minnesota is like higher than New York.
yeah,
It's colder. Now imagine you cross now the border, keep going up, end up in Winnipeg, you end
Yeah.
up in places like Saskatoon. Very beautiful place, nice place in the summer, man.
Yeah.
It's a prairie, it's green, and when they farms have about to harvest the canola and all these grains,
Mhm.
sometimes it's yellow, it's purple. It's beautiful to see. It's a beautiful place. But
Man.
when winter gets there,
it's a nightmare.
man, you stay indoors.
What's the coldest it's ever been down there for you? For the time you've been over there.
We've seen, because we do it, we check the weather in Celsius.
Mhm.
We got to do it in Fahrenheit.
Mhm.
So in Celsius, I've seen negative 55. So what you've seen on some videos whereby somebody say, you guys, I told you it was cold here,
Mhm.
and you were not paying attention. Let me show you something. And they go to the kitchen, they're boiling water. So you
What?
see this water's boiling?
Uh-huh.
They put it in the glass, they take the glass, now they open the door and they throw it up.
It falls down ice.
No, it turned into snow. It falls down as a snow. Pff, it's white. So I'm like, I used to see that on YouTube. Like,
Yeah, I see that on
this-
videos a lot
that's
too.
fake. That's fake. And I tried it. It's real.
Man.
It gets that cold. So at night, when you get the warning
Mhm.
for tornadoes,
Mhm.
places here,
Mhm.
you get warning like that. Say it's gonna be very cold tonight.
Wow.
Make sure you plug in your car,
Uh-huh.
because most parking lots everywhere they have a plug, electricity plug.
Uh-huh.
So when you buy a car from dealership or anywhere, there's a plug. They put a plate underneath your engine, which has a cord which you have to plug into the electricity
Yeah.
overnight, so that it keeps your engine warm, and then in the morning you can start.
Yeah.
If you don't have that, you're not gonna start in the morning. You're not gonna start in the morning. Yeah.
Wow, that's so bad.
Yeah.
Is it true? I've been curious. I'm told the Canadian dollar is more expensive than the United States dollar. Is that true?
More expensive?
Has more value. Has much more value than the United States dollar.
No, that's not true. If you can check the currency exchange, you can check it.
Uh-huh.
You will see, and it, even if it had, the way I've seen it, in my opinion, the Canadian, it doesn't benefit the Canadian for their dollar to be above the Americans. They prefer the American dollar to be a little higher because they export a lot of stuff into
To the United States.
Yes.
Yeah.
So when they bring things in and it's bought by the U.S. with the U.S. dollar, and most of the time it's always for $1 Canadian, you get $1.3.
For United States.
No. $1 US is $1.3 Canadian. So for $1 Canadian, it's about 70 cents.
Wow.
70 cents US, 75. There's some point where, based on the economy, the fluctuation, it goes up to zero toe-to-toes. But it doesn't benefit Canadians for it to be like that. And most of the time, it goes back down. So, yeah. So it's most of the time the US is higher. Most of the time. Even as we speak, I think it's almost the same.
I usually thought it was vice versa. Okay.
No, the US is higher.
All right. Well, that puts the point of experience. You've experienced it. I've heard rumors, so I cannot argue with that for sure.
Yeah, I've been to both sides.
Yeah.
So I've seen it.
Yeah. Wow. What are some of the similarities? No, forget about that. Could you tell the difference how the lifestyle is in Canada versus how it is in the United States?
The lifestyle won't be very different if we're talking about the main cities. Let's say somebody lives in Toronto compared to somebody who lives in Dallas or New York. I know houses are built based on the environment, how cold it is, what kind of material are we using based on the environment. But other than that, in terms of lifestyle, people wake up in the morning, they go to work, and they come back. If you work at a hospital, you go in the morning, a 12-hour shift, and come back. If you go way up north, way up north where the native people live, maybe a little bit different.
Yeah.
That's areas where people are living in a smaller homes, not as developed as the big cities are. But they have to also, based on the environment. See?
Yeah.
So they accommodate based on the environment. But other than that, I don't see the difference in terms of lifestyle. No, there's no difference. People live based on the environment they have around them.
Yeah. Are there bus services throughout Canada, or is it restricted? Like, let's say, for instance, let's say Missouri, you got past St. Charles, there's no bus services.
Okay. So we gotta go. And in Canada again, see, this is Missouri. It's a city, St. Louis. I don't know about smaller town. In Canada as well. If you're in Toronto, there's a lot of bus services. Toronto runs like New York. You get a lot of buses, there's a subway. It keeps expanding, keeps growing, because people move a lot. There's a lot of people there.
Yeah.
People go to work and stuff. So we got the subways, and you got the buses, and you got the movies. Is really active. But you go to a smaller town where there maybe are probably just buses.
Yeah.
And then probably slow. You need to have a car. So it depends on where you find yourself. Just like here. But here I've seen some big cities still don't have a lot of transportation, like Dallas. You can go to Dallas, it's a big city. I don't think there's a subway there. You just have to use the bus. Even the bus is not that regular. Just like they tell you, you gotta have a car.
Oh, wow.
Even in Dallas, you have to have a car.
True.
Otherwise, you're gonna struggle. So, like here too, I think you need to have a car.
True.
Otherwise, you're gonna miss a lot of things.
True. Yeah, I mean, a car is a necessity for sure.
Yeah. That's what I realized. If you go to Montreal, it's even more developed. The subway system, it's very fast. You gotta get into the subway, and then they dug it so deep down below. It's fast. There's a lot of lines, red, I think yellow, green.
Wow.
It's very sophisticated in Montreal. Yeah, it's a beautiful city too.
I should pay a visit over there. So it's much more sophisticated than New York City.
the subway system.
Yeah.
The subway system, yeah. But Montreal is not as sophisticated. New York City is probably bigger, but it's the subway system is very sophisticated. Because Montreal, you remember, it's mostly the French people there.
Yeah.
So yeah, so the French, the first one that developed all these trains back in Europe. So they did that in Montreal too. It was more developed than the one in Toronto.
Yeah.
But now I think they keep expanding, and Canada keeps growing. That's the thing. Yeah, people keep coming and it keeps growing. But yeah.
That's interesting. You make me want to visit over there.
You should. You should.
One time.
You
It's
have
gonna come through.
There's a lot of beautiful things to see in Canada. That's for sure.
Yeah.
I tell people every time. No, if you have to start, I'll tell you one place to go. You start with Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls.
Niagara Falls. You see it. After you see Niagara Falls, you cross the border. You see it from the Canadian side. After you see from the Canadian side, then you drive to Toronto. You go see the city.
Oh wow.
And then you'll love it. But then now you just have to come back and then try to travel the next time to go to Montreal. Now, if you've experienced the cold, you can go anytime. If you haven't, better
wait
go
until
in
the summer.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how do you balance or maintain your cultural identity with assimilating into the United States life or the Canadian life that you've lived?
I think I thought about it. I've thought about it before. Even you come as an adult, because I came already in my early 20s, you're already past the time where you've already settled most of your ideologies, about who you are, you've done that through your teenage years. So for adults, it's not really a big deal. It's mostly passing it on to our children.
Yeah.
We say, okay, even though they are born here, we want them to know where their people come from.
Yeah.
So they can have both. They are from here. They were born here, but the parents came from somewhere else.
True.
And in the home, they're growing as we grew up. We kind of organize our surrounding and certain values based on how we grew up. So we kind of try to put it into them. But now they're growing here. It's a little difficult. But with persistence, you put the goods in them. Hopefully they keep it.
They maintain it.
Hopefully
and
they
grow
maintain.
with it.
Hopefully they maintain it when they grow. It helps to a certain
Sure.
extent. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh wow. But I think it's a challenge most times teaching the kids a different language if the common language is English.
Yes. Yes, it is. I had a challenge because my wife came from my ex-wife now. She came from a country that spoke English. She came from South Africa.
Yeah.
So now her French was not as good. She was more comfortable in English. My French was good. My English wasn't as good.
Yeah.
So and we're in an English place. I'm like, I want to practice. So I chose to speak more English with them and the kids. So we went into the English side. But I've seen friends who were more comfortable in both, or they're more comfortable in French. And they spoke French at home. So the kids picked it up.
Oh wow.
They picked it
Yeah.
easily because if you speak French at home,
Yeah.
the kids will get it. They may not be very fluent, but they'll get it. They will still speak English.
Yeah.
Because it's outside there. It's at school. It's outside in the street. It's on the bus. It's everywhere else. They will speak it. And then another language, it's like another word you open to somebody.
Wow.
Yeah, places you couldn't go, you feel like you can go.
Yeah.
Yeah. If you go to Paris, and if you can't speak French, you're just gonna look around. But you can enjoy Paris more if you can speak to the chef and say, "Hey, donnez-moi le bon croissant."
What that mean?
That means give me the best croissant that you have. So the man who knows exactly what you mean is gonna go find it. Yeah, donnez-moi le bon vin. To give me the best wine you have. He's gonna go get it. But if you can't speak, you just limited to what you see there. You read. You go into Google, trying to Google it. So you miss a little bit. You see, if you find yourself in Colombia and you can't speak Spanish, If you can speak Spanish, you can get away with more, right?
That's a challenge, yeah, for sure.
Yeah, so language opens up a whole world to you if you can get it, if you can learn it.
Wow. So, what are some of the misconceptions that you've heard from Canadians about Africans?
Whether it's Canadians or Americans, I'm talking about people in the West.
Yeah.
Those who have never traveled, they don't understand a lot of things about us when we come. There's a way of thinking. You've heard this before. Do you guys live in houses? So I used to get mad at first. Did I ask you that? What? Then I come down. I'm like, okay, let's settle down. So if we live in not houses, we have an ambassador from Canada in my country, or from the U.S. in my country. So he's gonna be in a tree too, like me.
Yeah.
Or where is he gonna leave? The ambassador. He's gonna leave some. How did I get here? Did I swim?
It's how would I put it?
And then when you bring that up, they think maybe you're offended. So I'm sorry, I don't like to ask this kind of question. I think it's too personal. I'm like, just especially now with all this technology, you can Google. Is there any house in the Congo? Is there any house in this country? It will come up.
But it's funny, even with the technology right now, like you said, it's the how the media controls it. It's whatever pictures they take is whatever we see.
But now you have a control to
but
Google something yourself or YouTube something yourself. But you'd be surprised. Somebody you work with them for a year, 2, 3, they have a phone just like yours.
Yeah.
They Google all kinds of stuff every day. But they never Google. Let me Google and see where this guy comes from. How it looks like, where
how the lifestyle is down there for them.
Because I can see it.
Yeah.
Because I can Google it. Now we got YouTubers everywhere.
True.
Back in almost every country, they can show you the houses, the neighborhoods. You can see it.
Yeah.
But no, they're into other things. And then they throw the question at you. Then you're like, man, until today we're still talking about this type of things.
Yeah.
So it could be frustrating, but then when you come down, you're like, okay, again, the surrounding, the upbringing, the environment. Everybody focus on certain things.
So they pretty much have the same misconceptions. There's no difference.
Between the two, there's no difference.
Okay.
There's no difference between
Canada and the United States.
No, there's no difference. It's those who have never traveled, they don't know. They don't know anything. So those who are honest, they'll tell you, don't be offended. I just want to ask, can you tell me more about where you are from?
Yeah.
How you guys live over there?
Yeah.
So let's talk about it. And I like to have pictures. There's one time in my nursing school, I think it was last year or the year before last, we had this. The teacher was asking about cultural differences. They always have this course from year 1 to the last year. They always have cultural competencies. How do you know about any other culture? What can you tell us? Have you heard? So they asked me. I'm like, yeah, I'll talk about it. I'd love to.
Yeah.
So I set up a presentation, PowerPoint. So I went in the front. Nobody else did it. Nobody did it. I was the only one. So I went there. I explained my shock, the cold. I told them about the jacket I had, and they were laughing. It was a very nice story.
That's a funny one, actually. I don't know how to act it, actually.
I told them, like, yeah, you see, if you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah, true.
If you don't know, you don't know.
Yeah.
And you being there, innocent, you're just walking on the street, everybody's like clapping at you. You're like, what is going on?
Yeah.
So so it's different when you come, and where we come from, it takes a lot to get here. You have no idea the sacrifices.
True.
You have no idea what we go through to find your way here.
True.
And then after you've done all of that, you get here. People over there, as soon as you arrive, they're expecting you to perform and start helping them.
Yeah.
But now you just got here. You don't even know where to start.
True.
And And they might think you are anti-social at
Sometimes,
first.
yeah, because you're so scared of speaking up.
You don't speak up much, and you're busy in your own thing.
Yeah.
See, I'm busy because it's a survival, not only of me, but there's a lot of people involved in me being here.
Yeah.
So I gotta do certain things right quickly. School has to go right. I gotta find a little job quickly. I need to be able to do this quickly. And then you guys tell me, okay, we're having this issue in the neighborhood. I'm like, dude, tell me when I come back. I'm still,
true.
and like these guys, they come from Africa. They don't
They think
care
they're
about
better,
us.
yeah.
They think they're better. But we have so much in our heads.
And that's the one thing that most people don't get, though.
No, they won't. They won't get it. Maybe it takes time.
Yeah, it's going to take time for sure.
Somebody will really get closer and you sit down with them and they ask you, what's going on? Tell me about you. Tell me about life over there. And then they realize that, you got a few kids, they're in school back home, you take care of them. Your parents are getting older, you're the one taking care of them, and you take care of a lot of people.
Yeah.
But you're still in school.
Yeah.
You survive on your after school work,
Yeah.
which you're not supposed to miss.
No.
A lot of people are surviving from that. You see?
Yeah, it's a lot. It's a lot.
Yeah.
Us speaking about that, in what ways do you think immigrants can contribute to a richer, more inclusive American culture?
The American culture, migrant, we have to assimilate. We're trying to understand it. We're trying to join it because we can't impose our way of life. We have to assimilate. We want to contribute. That's why we're here. We want to work, make sure as we work, we pay our taxes, we pay our dues. It works for the society. It also works for us. We are okay with that. In the meantime, is to get to know each other.
Yeah.
Because sometimes looking at somebody coming from Africa, look at them straight up like that, it doesn't give you the reflection of Africa.
No.
It gives you a glimpse because this is a person who's outside of his environment.
True.
You gotta go find them in his environment. Then you can say, okay, this is how Africa is. Africa is not the way you see the African here.
No.
He's busy. He's crazy. He has a lot to do. He has a lot of pressure. So don't bug him too much.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So then if you can travel to Africa, you'll see it totally different.
And that's the one thing I encourage a lot of people to do, like travel to Africa, go understand the lifestyle.
Yes.
Go see how it is. It's not all about misconceptions. Whatever you see on the media, it's not really everything that they show.
Yeah.
Go experience it, find out the lifestyle, how it is. And I appreciate the ones that have traveled to Africa. You got Americans who want to go and live in Africa now.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And those ones, you sit down to have a conversation, now we have a meaningful conversation.
Yeah.
We still have some differences, but we go from the same standpoint. We understand each other, we understand the history, and then we can move from there.
True.
Otherwise, those who haven't been to Africa, I know somebody was saying, man, you guys have been there all these years, you just sit down doing nothing, and then come on, you have yourself to blame.
Yeah.
I'm like, no, you don't understand. You have to come.
Yeah,
you have to
true.
come.
They have to. Yeah, they have to come there.
You have
and
to
find
come to
out.
Africa. Then you understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Then you understand what's going on.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you won't get it.
No, it's not easy.
No, you won't get it.
Oh wow. So, what advice would you give to a young African immigrant trying to find their place in a new country without losing their identity?
A young African, especially if he's young enough to understand what we're talking about here, that means already past probably the teenage years, and he already got the identity.
Yeah.
You're not going to lose it. He may act sometimes. Sometimes you act to assimilate, but in the end, you know who you are.
Okay.
To remember who you are is very important, because sometimes we think that if we act like the people of the country we came to see, we will be more accepted, or will be more, I don't know how the terminology for that, but I've seen you're more respected when you accept your identity.
Yeah.
You know who you are, you know where you come from, you know who your people are, and you use that. there's always some strengths you can bring out of all of that. There's
Yeah.
always things that are very valuable
Yeah.
you can use. And there's also things that are not valuable. You know, we've been doing this for years. It
So
has
you
not
have to
helped us.
decipher what works best and
So
what
some things you
doesn't
can
work.
drop. Sometimes you can see people. You find if you go to Africa, in some countries, you find people. They wake up, young men, in their 20s, in their 30s. They're like, no, we got no jobs.
Yeah, yeah.
The government is not giving jobs. So what are you guys doing? We just here. We have a little drink. So and the whole day, and then the youth is being wasted away for years,
Yeah.
and they're not doing anything. They're blaming it on the government, and that culture of, what are you doing tonight? I'm just relaxing. No, you can't be relaxing every time. You can't
Yeah.
relax every day.
Yeah.
You gotta work. So the culture we grab from over here is that, hey, the more you work, the more you get. So work is very important. Yeah,
True.
my dad used to tell me, work at some point becomes your dad, becomes your mom, because he was the only child to his mom. His dad had many wives, and you know, back in the days, the dad has a lot of money.
Yeah.
He had a big compound and a lot of houses and a lot of women, but to his mom, he was the only child. So, and then he was still very young. His mom died,
Oh wow.
so he ended up by himself. He has no brother, no sister, by himself. So now his dad is like, yeah, I just join your other brothers to this house, just eat. So you will go here and eat today, go there and eat today, they go eat. But
For how long would you do that though?
he did that for a while, and he was frustrated. But he was very smart. The school he was going to was for some priest. They saw him very brilliant. They came to his dad and my grandpa, say, you know what, can we keep him with us? We want to keep him with us
Yeah.
for a little bit to see how he's gonna progress. Then it was a relief for the dad. He's like, yeah, but his mom, dad, he's by himself most of the time. Yeah, if you guys take him, it's fine. So that's how the priest took him,
Wow.
and they trained him. And from there, he moved to a different state where there was this big company who was looking for accountant. They trained him like that, so he started working there, and that was it. So
That was
now
a good
he's-
transition.
Yeah, so he said, now since I didn't have no brother, no sister, I'm gonna have a lot of kids. So he got 11 of us.
Wow.
He had 11 kids.
It's a big number.
I'm telling you.
That's a whole football team.
I'm telling you. From the same woman. I'm like,
Yeah.
I don't know how she did that. I don't know.
Back in the day, it was different. Right now, it's a lot different right now.
I don't know how she did that.
Yeah.
But they said that was just some cultural or some things we grew up nurturing that are not beneficial to the development of Africa or
Yeah.
the Africans. So sometimes you bring it here. I've seen people, even here, they still don't want to work that much. Here, there's work here. You have to work 5 days a week. Everybody's doing it.
Yeah.
No, I don't want to work.
It's too much.
So they just don't. So
Yeah.
what are you going to do? So, yeah.
Wow. All right. That was a long session. Finishing up, what's your hope for how people from different cultures, especially migrants and citizens, can better understand and support one another?
I think conversations are very important.
Yeah.
Having an open mind and having true conversations. The only thing is, when do you get these conversations? How do you get them? Who organizes it? How do we even meet? In Canada, they used to have, I don't know if they still have it, when you arrive, there was special places and with certain schedules. Maybe on Tuesday evening, they used to call it tea for something, whereby anybody can come for a tea that evening, winter or summer, and then there's always somebody who come from somewhere, and then people just talk.
Oh wow.
And then you find people from different countries, and then everybody is telling their experience since they arrive, how difficult it to learn English, or to find a job, or to do this or to do that. And then with the exchange, you go home feeling a little better.
Better, yeah, for
and
sure.
I'm not the only one going through the struggle.
Yeah.
And since everybody's going through it, let's go through it, and then it's gonna get better. And then somebody will say, okay, I was like where you are a couple years ago, and then I did this co-op. There was used to have this program in Canada called co-op. You go to a company and you go as a student. They train you for a job, and then after they hire you there. and then you stay there.
Oh, wow.
So yeah, this is jobs that we don't require degrees. So you stay there and you work. And it worked for some people, and then yeah. So conversations are very important.
Yeah.
But somebody has to trigger them.
True.
People
true.
have to meet,
True.
open-minded with the neighbors, see what's going on,
Yeah.
and then you'll be surprised. Then you have some very good people around you didn't even know.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's one thing that I'm learning. Even right now, that's one thing that I'm learning for sure.
Right.
Yeah, it's always somebody next to you. They've gone through it.
Yeah.
You're just looking at them. You won't see it, but once they start talking to you, it's like, whoa, I never thought you went through that.
Exactly.
Yeah,
I think it saves you a lot of time
true.
because you go through it yourself. Could be 10 years. If they say, hey, don't go through that,
Yeah.
that's what I did. But if you do this and this,
You'll
it
be
save
better.
you 5 years. You're ready to the destination. What you're looking for is over here.
Yeah,
And that helps a lot.
true.
That helps a lot to
Yeah.
move on. Yeah.
Oh wow. Lastly, if there's one thing you could, if there's one thing you could invite every American to experience from your culture, a meal, a celebration, a song, what would it be and why?
Oh boy. In my country, there's a lot of things you can celebrate. Something that goes across the board, across culture. I will invite anybody to celebrate, to come to a wedding celebration, a Congolese wedding.
How do y'all throw down our weddings?
And then I told you, it could be a whole week thing. If you want to do it the right way, it could be a whole week
That's hold on. That's how you get married, or that's how you do. There's another word we use in Kenya. It's called rorashio. It's pretty much presentation of either your husband or your wife to your parents. That's before their marriage. That's for them just to join you and give you that blessing of acceptance.
Yeah. People reduce these things because it's costly. Every time something is happening, you gotta spend money.
Yeah.
But normally, after you do the lobola we talked about, the diary,
Yeah.
the next thing you do, now we're family, right? The next thing you do is you pick a date. I think it's supposed to be the same week. If this happened on a Saturday, then next week everybody's off. And you have been in an environment where people are off
Yeah.
a lot.
Yeah.
People are working too
It's a
much.
lot of
It's not
stories.
gonna work.
Yeah.
So there will be a date where I don't know if it's the husband that starts or the wife. The husband comes to the wife's family to show all the family members. We just
Yeah.
came to present ourselves.
Yeah.
So when they come again, there's gonna be drinks, there's gonna be food, it's a party again. Right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And then after that, we go back, and then we pick a couple days later, the girl and the family, mostly the women, they'll come to the man's house and bringing all kind of food that their family or culture they cook. They make
Yeah.
different kind. They cook all kind of stuff. They bring that to you, to
Yeah.
your house, and you guys get it. It's another party, celebration. People drink, people dance. Then after that, the main wedding. Now we go to church, and then you have the celebration. Now that's also for itself. It's a treat.
Okay. So that's a choice for whoever wants to do it, or
Yeah, it's extra.
Oh,
Those,
okay.
The lobola is important. what
That's
we
the most
talked
important
about.
one, yeah.
Yeah, the diary, that was important. That is, for that, if you are religious, then you may wait also for the wedding in the church.
yeah.
If you're not religious, that day you're already married.
Oh wow.
That's what it
That's
starts.
a sealed deal right there.
That's where it's sealed. Even when you're religious, normally your pastor or your priest will always check with your family.
First.
Did you fulfill your family obligations, which is the diary?
Yeah.
Because that's where the talk is done. This is where you came with your kinsmen. You came with your father, your mother, and then meet with the other family member.
yeah.
So you involved a lot of people, so that hopefully you think twice before you say, hey, we don't want this no more. See, all these people involved.
Yeah, yeah.
They came. We are all these witnesses.
Yeah.
And we hope that this thing lasts. But, hey, it's still not a guarantee, So people change after that, after a while. But the idea is It's not that you drive through in Vegas and you get your license, and you turn around the next morning with divorce. No. It's not like that.
That's what happens a lot nowadays.
Yeah, it's serious. Because when you bring all these people in, you're serious. You gotta bring your dad, bring your mom, bring your mom's family, your dad's family. All these people you brought in. It's a lot of people.
Yeah,
and they're taking you to go pick this woman, and they will sit down with you before we go. They sit down with you. He said, "Boy, don't play with us. Are you sure about this?" Are you sure about it? We're all playing.
It's a little bit intimidating.
If you're still playing, leave us alone.
Yeah.
If you're still playing, you know you're a young man, you know you have some money, you're handsome. If you're still playing, go play, leave us alone. If you're going to involve us, this is got to be
serious business.
Yeah, it's got to be her, and then we're going to go present ourselves, because if something goes wrong, they'll look at us, hey, look at your
boy, yeah.
Look at your boy. What are we going to say?
At that time, you don't have no excuse, honestly, because you're the one who messed up.
When your old man looks at you and put a finger in your face, his finger looks this big.
Yeah.
You're like, no, yeah, it's her. So you feel intimidated. You think about it.
Yeah.
If you're not sure, I've seen people the next morning, it's like, you know what?
No, let me think about it again.
Let's wait for a little bit.
Yeah.
You know, I'm going to think about it.
It's a little bit intimidating because you have to jump from one lifestyle to another.
Yeah,
Wow.
It is.
That's crazy. So that's the one thing you said most people should experience, and I feel like I should too, because from the way you're explaining it,
that one would be very nice. You would enjoy the whole thing. Yeah, should invite you if I'm getting married again. I should invite you to come and see it.
Oh yeah, definitely. I would appreciate that.
You're gonna love it. From start to finish, it's beautiful.
Wow.
To sit down in the conversation. And you know, there's that conversation between the parents that goes on. You don't talk. They're speaking for you.
You just listen.
You just listen. Because you brought us here. You brought this trouble. You got to listen now and be responsible. So now your old man is telling them that he guarantees them that he's a good boy.
Yeah.
So you agree with that? You better be a good boy when you go. Yeah. So
Oh
so
wow,
it's,
that's nice.
Yeah, it's very interesting.
Yeah.
It's a good culture, though. I think it's really good when it's done the right way, in the right setting, and then from that point, the family know each other.
Oh yeah, true.
Yeah, I saw you at the presentation with my daughter or my niece. Oh yeah, you from the family of him. Oh okay. See, people know each other, so that you don't go mingle. Also, say no, we family now.
We already know you're married. Yeah,
we can't do anything together now because we're now family.
That's nice.
Yeah, so that's one thing that I would definitely. And then we have all these sports events. You know, I don't know you guys from Kenya. You have we have teams, soccer teams that are the rivals in each city.
Yeah.
In my city, you know, if those two rivals are meeting on Sunday, you know, the city starts shutting down by Friday. You know, people are talking about it. Friday, they're talking about it. And you got parties starting Friday night. And Saturday, people are getting drunk on each side. This is what I fight. They're trying to make sure they don't meet because they'll fight. But the game is on your side. It's just a simple game in a championship. It's a simple, but when they meet, it's a prestigious thing. It's just those two rivalry. So you have that going on the whole weekend, and by Sunday, the stadium is packed by noon. They're just singing and dancing and shouting, saying things against each other. You know, we beat you guys so many times, you know, in a song kind of thing. It's so fun to be there, but sometimes it turns into violence.
Yeah.
Very easy. Whoever loses doesn't want to lose. They want to
true.
throw stones.
Everybody wants to win.
No, everybody wants to win. But everybody, when they came, they wanted to win, but
they lost.
Sometimes if it's tied, it's good. It's like you have one of those things is just memorable. It's just
it is, and it's fun. It's inclusive of the community, it's engagement and all that.
Singing, it's loud. It's just something else. It's something to experience.
Yeah, I don't think I've experienced that for sure. If I have to say something of related, it should be the school sports or drama festivals for schools and all that. That's the only thing that I've seen different schools coming together, doing competition and all that. But I haven't seen different towns or different cities coming to compete. Really, I haven't seen that.
You don't have like a big city that what was it? What are the big soccer teams in Kenya?
That should be Arambe Stars
and Leopard. Is it Leopard? It used to be
Leopard?
Leopard? No, Leopard is from where? Arambia Star and who?
The one
Arambia
that
Star
I
is the national team.
yeah.
What about the local teams?
Local teams are really new,
I
man.
think there was Leopard. There was Leopard and no, there used to be a team from the brewery company.
Mhm.
I forgot their name. I remember they played with the Congolese team for the final of the Africa Cup way back. Yeah.
In the comment section, if you know the football team or the soccer team, let us know. I'm not good at soccer, honestly.
Yeah. Okay.
I'm not
Yeah.
good at soccer.
Yeah, so
But-
you get that, if you get that in my town, Lubumbashi, you get Mazembe against Lupopo. If you go to the capital city, you get Vake Club against Daring, and these are just, it's a festival just to see them play.
It's nice, actually. Yeah, from the way you're explaining it,
You know,
yeah,
it's
I can
crazy.
relate.
You watch TV at noon. There's a news at noon, and they show the correspondents in the stadium, giving you the atmosphere. It's packed, 120,000 people. They're just singing, they're singing.
Yeah, I think
singing.
in Kenya they do have that. I don't think.
If I have a chance, I'll send you a few clips.
Please
to,
do.
to give an idea.
Please
what
do.
I'm talking about.
Please do.
So when I say this, you have to put a clip so you can see what I'm talking about.
Yeah,
And it's
please do.
Crazy.
I'd appreciate that.
Yeah.
The ones for the cities, not really. But I think for major teams, that one I know happens.
Okay.
For the teams, I know that happens. But city to city, not really.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Those are, but the wedding would be actually the best celebration because that would something.
Yeah, yours sounds more cultural, and I think I would love to experience that for
Yes.
sure.
Yes.
Yeah.
To listen to the conversation, listen to the depth of things. Yeah, you get it. Like right now, I have to attend a wedding. It's gonna be in Belgium. It's my niece getting married. She's getting married to a white. Her fiance is white.
Yeah.
She's from England. That's where she's going to school. Her parents are from Belgium. As my brother told you about. But he's been working for the European Union in Africa more. He's been asking for African assignments.
Yeah.
He was in Kenya.
Yeah.
And then now he was in Dar es Salaam. So I'll be there.
Oh, wow.
I'll probably be one of the spokespersons there. Kind of organizing because I gotta speak in French. I gotta speak in English. 'Cause the French family, some of them don't speak English at all,
Oh, yeah.
and the English family don't speak French at all. Some of them.
wow.
So you gotta be able to. Everybody should understand.
Translate and that, yeah.
because the conversation is important. Everybody should understand.
True.
What now we're doing this, and now we're doing this, and now we're gonna do this, and now we're gonna do this. Everybody should be on the same page.
Oh, wow.
And then yeah.
Nice.
Yeah.
Wow, that's been a long conversation for sure.
Yeah.
I would love to have you on another session for sure.
Yes.
And if you have time, I would appreciate it if you come over.
I will definitely.
All right.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you. I appreciate it, man.
Yeah. Thanks for having me. I really appreciate it.
Pleasure's all mine. We've had a good conversation over here, and I'm sure some people will then interact with that.
Please.
And with that being said, guys, for now, that's it. Until next time, be safe. Don't forget to subscribe, like, comment, and share. Goodbye.